At one point in my life, I had 11 productivity apps on my phone. I had apps to track my habits, apps to manage my tasks, apps to organize my apps. I had an app that reminded me to check my other apps. I had a color-coded calendar system so complex it looked like NASA was planning a Mars mission from my phone. I had sticky notes, digital sticky notes, a physical notebook, a digital notebook for when I lost a physical notebook, and a reminder app to remind me where I put the notebook. And you know what I was producing with all of this incredible organizational infrastructure? Absolutely nothing. I was the most organized and productive person on the planet. I had systems for my systems, folders inside folders, tags inside tags, subtasks for my subtasks, and one Tuesday afternoon I sat down at my desk, opened my laptop, looked at my 11 apps, my color-coded calendar, my nested folders, and I just started laughing because I had spent more time organizing my work than actually doing my work. Sound familiar? Today I'm showing you the 5-minute system that replaced all 11 apps, the color-coded calendar, the nested folders, and the reminder app for the notebook, and it fits on one piece of paper. Stay elevated. Let me take you back to where this started. I discovered productivity content on YouTube, and it ruined my life. Not immediately. First, it felt incredible. I watched videos about the perfect morning routine, the perfect note-taking system, the perfect task manager, the perfect focus technique. I spent an entire weekend, 48 hours, setting up the perfect productivity system. I downloaded Notion. I built a live dashboard. I had a goals database linked to a habits tracker link to a weekly review link to a daily planner link to a project manager. It was beautiful. It was architectural. It belonged in a museum. And then Monday came. I opened Notion, stared at my beautiful live dashboard, spent 45 minutes updating it, did zero actual work. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, I added a new feature to the dashboard instead of doing the work. By Friday, I had the most sophisticated productivity system on earth and a to-do list that hadn't moved in 5 days. Here's what I finally understood after months of this cycle. Productivity tools are not the same thing as productivity. Organizing work feels like doing work. It gives you the same dopamine hit, the same sense of progress, but it produces zero real output. The tool had become the goal, and the actual goal had become invisible. So I deleted everything, all 11 apps. The color-coded calendar, the Notion dashboard, gone, and I replaced all of it with something that takes 5 minutes and fits on a sticky note. Here's the science that explains why productivity apps make you less productive, and this one is going to sting. Psychologists call it pseudo-productivity, the act of performing productivity without producing any real output. Dr. Newport, author of Deep Work and a computer science professor at Georgetown University, argues that the modern productivity industry has created a culture where managing your work has replaced doing your work. The tools designed to help you get things done have become the things stopping you from getting things done. Here's the second piece of science, and this is the one that changed everything for me. A study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found something called the planning fallacy combined with task substitution, which in simple terms means when a task feels hard or scary, your brain will automatically substitute it with an easier related task that feels productive but produces nothing. So instead of writing the script, you reorganize your script folder. Instead of making the video, you research the best camera settings for making videos. Instead of starting the business, you spend 3 weeks building a business plan in Notion. Your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Avoid difficulty while maintaining the feeling of progress. The 5-minute system I'm about to give you short-circuits that entire loop. This is the daily 3-sheet. 1 piece of paper, 5 minutes, 3 sections. That's it. That's the whole replacement for 11 apps. Here's how it works. Section 1, the 1 win. At the top of the paper you write 1 sentence. Today I win if I complete 1 thing. Not 3. Not 5. 1. This is the single most important task that if completed today would make everything else feel like a bonus. Not the easiest task. Not the most enjoyable task. The one that moves the needle most. Here's why this works when app to-do lists don't. When you have 27 tasks on a digital to-do list, your brain naturally gravitates toward the easiest ones first. You knock out 15 small tasks, feel productive, and never touch the one that actually mattered. The one when forces a hierarchy before the day even starts. 1 thing, non-negotiable. Everything else is bonus. Section 1 done. Section 2, the 3 must moves. Below the 1 when you write exactly 3 tasks. No more, no less. That must be completed today. Not a wish list. Not a brain dump. 3 decisions made the night before about what tomorrow absolutely requires. The number 3 is not random. Behavioral scientists have found that commitment lists of 3 items have significantly higher completion rates than lists of 5 or more. because the brain can hold 3 commitments without the overwhelm response that kills execution. 4 tasks starts to feel like a lot. 5 feels like a Monday to-do list. 3 feels doable. And doable gets done. Section to done. Section 3, the distraction dump. This is the section nobody builds into their system, and it's the reason most systems fail. During the day, your brain will constantly throw distractions at you. Ideas, worries, random thoughts, things you suddenly need to Google, new tasks that feel urgent. Most people either stop and deal with each one, killing their focus, or try to suppress them, which makes them louder. The distraction dump is a box at the bottom of the paper. Every time a distraction enters your head during the day, you write it down in the box and immediately return to your work. You're not ignoring it, you're parking it. Your brain releases the thought because it knows it has been captured. The open loop closes. Focus returns. Psychologist Dr. David Allen, author of Getting Things Done, calls this a mind-like water state. When every thought has a capture system, the brain stops holding on to things urgently and can focus entirely on what's in front of it. The distraction dump is your capture system, and it takes up the bottom third of a sticky note. Section 3 done. The daily 3 sheet is complete. 1 win at the top, 3 must-moves in the middle. Distraction dump at the bottom. 5 minutes to fill out the night before. 0 apps required. 0 color coding. 0 nested folders. 0 reminder apps for your notebook. Just 1 piece of paper doing the job of 11 apps. And here's the thing that will make your old self furious. The days I use the daily 3 sheet, I am more productive than any day I ever spent inside Notion, because the goal was never organization. The goal was always output. The elevators watching this, you are not unproductive because you haven't found the right app yet. You are unproductive because the tools you're using were designed to be engaging, not to produce results. There's a difference. Every notification, every template, every color, every satisfying checkbox in those apps is designed to keep you inside the app, not to get you out of the app and into your actual work. The daily 3 sheet has no notifications, no updates, no premium tier, no social features, no gamification. It just asks you 3 things. What's the win? What are the moves? And what do you do with everything else? That's it. That's the whole system. The most productive people I've studied don't have the most sophisticated tools. They have the clearest priorities, and clear priorities don't need 11 apps to function. They need 1 piece of paper and 5 minutes of honest thinking the night before. System activated. Delete 1 productivity app today. Just 1. You won't miss it. If you've ever spent more time organizing your work than doing your work, drop system activated in the comments. I already know that section is going to be full. Share this with someone who has a Notion dashboard that belongs in an art gallery but a to-do list that hasn't moved in 3 weeks. They need this more than they need another template. And if this is your first time here on Kends Elevated, every single video on this channel is built around one idea. Motivation fades, systems last. We don't do hype here. We don't do empty advice. We build frameworks that fix real problems permanently, and then we move on to the next one. That's the channel. That's the mission. That's why you should subscribe right now if you haven't already. New videos drop every week. Until then, the system is ready. Now elevate.